Good day, gamers. Welcome once again to another Game Master Dave Plays, where we are playing another game, just like all the other games that I like to play that nobody plays anymore. And this one is from the 1980s with horrible graphics, but we do love it so. Gettysburg, the turning point. So hopefully you'll have some suggestions, comments. Um, give us a like, a follow, and there's just some reasons I really like this game, and we'll talk about it more shortly. So let's level up. That's right. Now I got to play both sides because I don't have an opponent, but certainly I would be very happy to have somebody comment or chat and tell me what to do. That would be great. I would thoroughly enjoy that. We're going to do the campaign game and see how long this lasts. So I did Battleground, one of the Battleground series with Gettysburg, but man, the interface was so hard on Twitch that it took like forever to play that game, and it just went on and on and on and on and on. This one also takes a long time to play, but it's a little bit more exciting. Look at the old RGB graphics, right? It's really crazy. Now, there's a reason why I really like this game, and the reason is, and chat is open, so feel free to send us a note. Now, if you're watching this later on YouTube, of course, you can still send us a message or make a YouTube comment. But the reason why I like this game is because there's very little random element. Even though the graphics are horrible, it really does. It's pretty historically accurate, or as much as you can get with a PC game, in the sense of how the casualties affect the units, and the terrain affects the units, and the morale affects the units, and the fatigue affects the units. And there is almost no randomizer. Although there is some leadership modifiers, but your leader is not always able to affect combat the best that it is. Like some games always have leadership modifiers of, let's say, +1 for every die roll or something like that in a lot of war games. So every hour, the leaders roll their leadership value, and your leader might get confused. So the leader that you need at the best time in the battle, just like real generals in real warfare, they don't have all the information they need. They don't. They become indecisive here and there. But of course, we have lots of times in history where leaders were very decisive, and so that's represented in the game too. So they will add to the modifier. The random modifier in this, instead of rolling like 2d6 in most war games or d10 or something like that, the random modifiers are only like 0.9 to 1.1 for every attack that you do. So what does that mean? That means basically if I'm going to fire my unit and it's going to inflict 10 casualties, there's a chance it inflicts 9 casualties, a chance that it inflicts 10, and then a chance that it inflicts 11, or somewhere in between. So it's not that much of a random modifier, and so I found out playing this strategically is great. Now, of course, like all games that I like to play, these old games, they're best done against a human opponent and against and in a campaign setting. There is a 1 day battle in this to, you can fight first day, second day, or third day, but really the campaign is where it shines because we're going to refight the Battle of Gettysburg. They also have other choices: random cavalry, random reinforcement arrival. We're just playing everything standard right now. Hopefully, we can get through the game. We'll see what happens. And if a lot of you say that you like this, I'll play more, or we'll switch to something else. I really want to play more Hearts of Iron and Europa Universalis and Stellaris and Civ 6, but I need human opponents for that, and we have to meet on a regular basis. It becomes a scheduling issue and also a cost issue. It's cost prohibitive to like play Hearts of Iron because it's a certain amount of money per month if you want to have or all those if you want to unlock all of the additional content. You can play with no additional content, I guess, but so many streamers are streaming those games with all the additional content, which I think adds a lot to those games. But I really have my heart set on these old games. I really love to play this against a human opponent, but it's tough. It's tough to find people to play this against and stream it and record it. But anyway, here we go. Okay, so how do we win the game? You win the game by having victory points. You get victory points for casualties and for holding certain terrain locations, which historically in Gettysburg, the Confederates get victory points if they hold Culp's Hill and Cemetery Hill and Devil's Den and Little Round Top. Actually not Devil's Den, but Little Round Top. And the Union get victory points if they continue to hold Seminary Ridge and McPherson Ridge and any of the entry points of the Confederates. And also the Confederates can get points for holding any of the entry points of the Union. So I played this completely through a full campaign at least once when I was, by the way, this is from, I forget which year, 1981, 1983, somewhere in that range. I played a full campaign when I was in high school of this game. And it turned out, quite different. The battle lines were different. I mean, there was a lot of fighting around Cemetery Hill, but I don't think I brought Longstreet as the Confederates all the way down south to attack Little Round Top. We can make decisions here for whatever we want to do. And certainly, I will take your advice. I'll do what you want me to do if you sign in and watch the game with me and get into the chat. All right, so here we go. So what happens here? So the score is currently 2,000. The Union player owns 2 locations on Seminary Ridge, so they have 1,000 points each, so it's 1,000. Visibility factor 100%. During the late evening and early morning times, the visibility will be a factor in the combat, and there will be less visibility. And you can see here that it's a Union minor victory, because from 1 to 7,000, it's a Union minor victory. So then we're going to continue. This keeps track of all the casualties. You do get points for inflicting casualties. So there's killed, wounded, missing, and captured. I think if you get captured, it's like 1.5 victory points. So it's actually beneficial to knock the morale down of the opponent, engage them in melee, outflank them, surround them, and capture a lot more people because you get a lot more victory points. So, and then you can see here that this is, I think the other one was infantry, and this is cavalry. Cavalry is a bit more victory points if you have, I think cavalry might be 2 victory points each, if I'm not mistaken. And I think artillery is 100 victory points each. So if you do decimate an artillery battery, there is a chance that you can gather quite a few victory points. And then you get victory points for wounding or capturing leaders. So there's some random modifiers, random chances every time you fire on a unit that the leader gets hit. Now, I haven't played this in 30 years, so I have all of the things I needed to do to get printed, and I will have to, I might have to refer and read a little bit here and there, so there might be a pause once in a while for all the command functions. I might need to find out what is the hotkey for some things. All right, so then there's the victory point locations. There is a map. I guess I could put the map online. I didn't think about doing that. I'm also not showing my face in a video. I could have held up the map in the video to show it, but then that would take up space on the screen, so I decided against that. But maybe I guess when I do the YouTube video, maybe I will put a graphic in there of the map, if you're interested, if anybody wants to see it. We're going to do sound, no, and then the combat's going to happen quick. I'm using DOSBox for this, and the thing is even at the highest delay, the combat is going to go super quick because, it's modern computer kind of stuff. But I'll put it at the highest. We'll see what we can get. Now, there is the random leadership modifiers. So you can see right here that Heath is indecisive. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that he gets a minus 0.2 modifier to all of combat. So this may or may not come into play if we decide to not attack with Heath right now because he's not doing so good. Um, but you can see the Union commander. Well, then you see indecisive. So 3 indecisive, 1 cautious. Cautious is minus -0.1. So it is what it is, and we're going to go forward. Okay, so you saw a flashing screen there for a hot second. I noticed that sometimes when I end a turn, that screen glitches, and I've been missing some combat results because of that. But what are we going to do, right? Like, how are we? We're not going to be able to go. We're gonna just have to go forward. So now there's a way to center. See now, right now, until I get used to all of the things again, there is a way to center. We'll figure that out shortly. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this unit. I can grab this unit, and you can see there. Oh, this screen. Oh, you're not seeing the whole screen. Oh, that is too. That's not good. Okay, I gotta change this. Sorry about that. I gotta fix something. You might see the screen adjusting. I didn't realize that you couldn't see the whole screen. There we go. That's much better. I'm using what am I using? I'm using Streamlabs. Streamlabs OBS. I didn't realize on Streamlabs OBS you couldn't see everything. So it's going to be a little bit smaller here for your viewing, but you can see all the information on the bottom, which is great. So this is Union Devon. This is, if you know anything about I know a lot about the Battle of Gettysburg. I can give like a tour. I've given tours at the Battle of Gettysburg for my friends. So Devon and Gamble were the cavalry commanders out here on this ridge, trying on Seminary Ridge, and I'm sorry, McPherson's Ridge, that they are going to attempt to slow down the Confederates, slow them down so that the Union reinforcements can come. And that is basically what's going to happen. Now I can press a view to see what, let's see, allows you to view all squares in line of sight of the axis unit. Squares are inversed. Oh, wait a minute here. I got to do this. Okay. So that's like the firing that they can see. That's the visibility that they can see right now. And let's see, I can change modes. We don't want to do that. We could build fortifications. I feel like I want to center on the unit. Centers on the unit is a 0. Nice. Or 0. Maybe I am centered on the unit. Let's see. Oh, no. I want to Z abort that. Okay. Let's quit the unit to get off the unit. And then let's go up here. And what is it? 0. Yeah, there we go. 0. Okay. I guess I was on the unit. I don't know. It's weird. I got to get used to some of this interface, but we're gonna get used to it. And it's not that much interface, so we are going to get used to it pretty quickly. Now, one of the things we need to look at is I can press L to see leaders, and we can see corps leader and divisional leader to see where they're at. So let's see where our corps leader is. He's not on the map. Okay, and then another very important thing is we need to keep our units together. So we can press I to see, oh, I got to access. Let me exit that screen. Exit that screen, and we can press I to see who's in that unit, who's in that brigades. So the flashing one you see there is where the leader of this brigade is. And we can like plot, you can have everybody fire at the same location if we want. All right, so we are up on a ridge. We have Devon A has 550 men. So just to go through what all this means, dismounted. Oh, we're not dismounted. I think that's what DS means. Uh-oh. We want to be dismounted. And change the mode of the unit. Now that is, let me see if there's in the rule book I have, let me see if there is, that is something we need to worry about because we want to be dismounted. On the mounts, we're not going to do well. I thought they always started dismounted, but I guess not. I mean, we have a lot more movement with dismounted. Now there's going to be a pause in the game. Here's my wife. Hello, Ginger.
David.
Hello. She just came over and kissed my brain. Yep, she did. She says she likes my brain. Yeah. So we need to change the status of the unit. Let's see, or anything with cavalry. Sorry for the delay. Send me questions, comments, suggestions. Um, recovery phase, operation phase, setup, leader proficiency, command menus, moving unit modes. Units may be in one of two modes, which affect movement in combat. Infantry units may be in column or normal. Cavalry may be dismounted or mounted. Okay, so then it is the thing that I need to do, which is that change formation, which is S. So we have the unit. Let's go to S. Hopefully this is going to be dis. Oh no, okay, they were dismounted. Oh, that's disorganized. So let's undo that one. I messed up. Disorganized is no. Ammo 9. So we do need to worry about ammo. Melee, no. We don't have a melee plot right now. Morale is 80, which is fantastic. If you get below 40, then your unit has a chance of routing, and then it's got to hang out, and it's got to rally. You need to get a leader over there. No plot, which means you have no fire plot. We're dismounted. Operational points 12, which is great. Direction, it's the direction we're facing. You can see the little compass down on the bottom right. And are we advancing? No. We're on a ridge level 2, and the XY on the map is 13, 8. So there's another page to look at. They have fortification level 0. Normal close combat is 1.3 modifier, which is great. The weapon system is CRB, which is carbine, so that's really good. They have a short range. At short range, they do really well. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, they do twice as good as a rifle. So the carbine is excellent. And you could see that on that map thing if I ever wanted to post that. So, and then fatigue is 0. Every time you do anything, you go up in fatigue, and your fatigue directly affects your morale. So if you have 20 fatigue and morale 80, you now have effectiveness 60. I'm sorry, if you have 20 fatigue, and you had morale 80, now you're at morale 60. So and your effectiveness is 60, I believe. I do forget exactly how that goes. So we're dismounted. We're hanging out there. We're facing the correct direction we want to in direction 4. We are going to wait for those guys to see what the Confederates do. So we can press N to go to the next unit. And there is Devon B, 761 men. Morale a little bit less. And again, now we can press T for terrain to see what the terrain is like. There's no woods to hide in. If we had woods, that would be good too. But we are basically going to hang out there. So let's go to N. Now here is where artillery. There's only 6 guns here. And the type of guns, do we know what type of guns are? We can check on the other side. They're RG3s, which is 3-inch rifled guns. So they shoot out to range 10, which is great, 10 hexes. They're very effective at range 1, and they're moderately effective at range 2 and 3. But so who do we have over here? So let's see. Actually, if I quit, let's see. I forget if you can see what the enemy is. I can't access them. Okay. So let's go back to the guns. So we can shoot at those guys. Might as well, right? So how do we do that? We press F, and we move the cursor to the target, and we press T for target. And that's it. So now you'll see the fire plot that's on there. Say 9, 10. So during combat phase, they're going to fire. So now let's go to next. All right, so these are reinforcements. This is Meredith. Now look at the morale. 99. This is the best Union unit we have. This is the Black Hat Brigade, if you know anything about the Battle of Gettysburg. These guys are going to kick butt, but we need to be sparing of them. We don't want to waste them. because they're the ones that are going to delay the Confederates massively. So we need to move them up very carefully. And also the game, it's not hex, it's squares, so the game is a little funky on how it does it. But since we're in column, it works out well and we're on a road. The column we have to change to regular mode, to line mode, which is going to be expensive in operational points or movement points or whatever you want to call it. But we're going to be able to go fast because otherwise the road costs, I think, 2 points, and if you're in column, it costs 1 point. And we are way down south. So was there a mini map? I feel like there should be a mini map. Why do I always feel like there was a mini map? And there may not be. I haven't found the mini map yet. So I'm going to... oh, okay. That's right. Recon. Pressing this key when the cursor is over an enemy unit will display an approximate strength of the units in that square. Okay, good. So that is good to know. All right, so we're going to move them up. Dink, dink, dink. And we could press 0 to center a little bit. You can see our operation points going down. And we are 1. Okay, so now we could quit this unit. And we could just page up here since there's no mini-map. We could just see how far we have yet to go. So there's Gettysburg, and this is where the battle is about to happen, about to occur. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. So we can access this guy next, and we can press N for the next unit. And we can move, this is Meredith B. So with 1,000 guys here and 800 guys there, they're both 99. But as you see, look, my morale's going down. Almost every time I move, I'm getting some fatigue. And so my morale is going down. So these guys are Cutler, also very good at 85. So these guys are going to come save the day for the Union. Hooray! Now if I page on this, okay, fatigue 2, and this is Reynolds, and we can press I, and Reynolds is in that unit. Okay. Reynolds took command of the battlefield until I forget which general arrives to take command of the battlefield after that. Now in column, if I remember correctly, no, I moved onto the guy. I think it used all my movement points. Let's see. I'm not too sure. Let me see. Let's quit then. Let's go here. He's got 2 operational points left. Can he go? He can go there in column. That's weird. I thought for some reason that you couldn't. You had in column you could only be one unit each. But so why did this guy use all of his operational points? I didn't see what happened. It's okay. We're going to go forward. All right, so now we're going back up here to gamble. I always cycle N all the way through everybody. Make sure we get everybody to do something. Now, here is the question that I have. Here's the first question. This is also dismounted cavalry, 703. Have those carbines, which is good. The Confederates across the way. Let's go check out the Confederates now, right? We were going to try that. So this unit I targeted here, I could press R for recon. That is a big unit. So let's go up here and check out this unit. Now these aren't exact numbers, but they're good indications. That's not what I wanted to do. So 385 men. So there's not that many men in there. And R for recon, 720. So the 2 units that are out in the open, not on the ridgeline, are much stronger. Now there's a bridge there they got to come across, and then I've got the 2 units across the way. They got to come across a river. So going through the river is expensive and dangerous. And let's see, I believe so. We want to keep them in the river, in the stream, I guess is what it is. So it's very expensive with movement points. Unlimbered artillery cannot go through even rivers. And there's got to be a combat factor. Where is the combat factor? Let's see. Bridge stream. So fire and melee is no modifier. Firing unit's location in a bridge or stream, melee is 0.8. So that is... firing unit has less than 6 operational points. So there is a fire modifier. So if you use up all your operational points. Let's see. Disrupted. If you're disrupted, your fire and melee is at 0.3. So you really want to disrupt the enemy. So we got to be careful about that. Got to be super careful about... and also our fire modifier is a 0.75 for the cavalry. All right. So let's go back over here and grab him so that we can make a decision. So my next decision is, if we're on top of the hill, let's see, higher elevation is 0.8. Target location, higher elevation. So we get 20% protection, potentially, when those big units come across the battlefield. So I'm thinking I go protect that road. Plus, it would give us 1,000 victory points. Not that we're going to keep it. Or we could go into the woods in the hills. But if I go onto that road, then we can sort of protect... we can sort of protect if the Confederates go north and try to outflank the Cav north of this position. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go here. And then I want to change the direction to facing 4. Yep. Now, the next unit, I could go into the woods. And this has the leader in it. I could go into the woods directly straight ahead, or I can go into the woods and the hill. Now, woods, I think, give me 0.8 as well, which they do. And higher elevation is 0.8, so I'm really liking that. So I think it's going to use up all my operational points, but I'm going to go right there. Used up a lot of them, used up like 9 of them. And then I'm going to go direction 4. And I'm pretty happy with that. Now let's cycle through, make sure we got everybody, and it looks like we do. Okay, so when we're done with moving like that, and this is a long explanation, it's going to go much faster as we go forward with this. Then that's it. So we are going to do combat. Okay, so I think it's Q for quit, I'm pretty sure, and C for combat. Let's see, there's another page here too. Stop, abort, low disrupted. Okay, recon. Why did you say recon 0? Maybe you can only recon a certain number of times, and I already maxed out on that, maybe. I'll have to look that up. Okay, so now it's going to be combat. Do you wish to have combat? So you're going to see defensive artillery and then offensive artillery. It's going to be hard to see the numbers, and then it's going to go to a save screen. So let's see. Do you wish to have combat? Yes. Press any key to execute combat. So they fired, we lost 7. We fired, we killed 9. My screen size jumped. Why did it do that? Let's see. Union Phase 1. Save current game. Okay, we're going to call it Twitch 1. Okay. Enter. Hey, I think we're good. Okay, hey, I just want to say thank you. Now the screen is gone on Twitch. Oh, there it is. Okay, it just came back. I just want to say thank you for joining us. That was very interesting to try this out. I would again love any feedback you have, questions, comments, concerns. If you're interested in the game or other old games, I'd love to hear about them. And give yourself 100 experience points for joining us and checking it out. And until we meet again across the internet, keep your mice dry, your keyboards ready, and your old school PC gaming strong old school PC gaming. And have a great night. Thank you so much.